Number 5. Are you happy now? In this episode of Spongebob, things take a turn for the even worse than usual for Squidward. The episode begins with Spongebob giggling like a little schoolgirl about his work schedule, and him explaining that all of his happiest memories come from the Krusty Krab. Spongebob then asks Squidward, "What's your happiest memory?" Squidward tries to remember one, but can't. So Spongebob and Squidward go on a long adventure trying to make a happy memory for Squidward. But at every turn, things go horrible. After multiple attempts of trying to have a happy memory, Squidward goes into his house and says, "Wake me up when I'm dead." Then he stays inside for 2 weeks and leaves his house looking like a goddamn bomb went off. Now, this actually isn't the part that's so bad about the episode. It's all the hints of Squidward wanting to kill himself and his, what looks like to me, clinical depression. In one part of the episode, he puts his head into an oven, and in another, he looks like he's about to hang himself. At the end of the episode, SpongeBob captures Squidward into a box and brings him to the Krusty Krab for a surprise party, with, of course, a bunch of papier-mâché SpongeBobs, which then sends Squidward into a frenzy, and he starts to destroy all of them while laughing like a damn maniac. After he's done, he says he has gotten his happiest memory. Well, I guess that's a job well done, SpongeBob. Number 4. Transformers. This episode of Transformers is a little ridiculous, and honestly, I feel like it could have influenced the movie The Dictator a little bit, but a lot of it was actually inspired by the situation in Libya at the time, and Muammar Gaddafi. The name of the country that this episode is based in is Carbonia. Car-bomb-ya. Like seriously? You gotta be kidding me. And I'm assuming it's based in the Middle East because there's camels everywhere. In fact, in one part of the episode, the general swears on the grave of his mother's camel, his uncle's goat, his brother's sheep, his nephew's roosters, and his sister's donkeys. I mean, I don't think you could get more stereotypical and racist than that. And actually, Casey Kasem, the voice actor that did most of the characters on the show, is of Arab descent and wanted changes to be made to the script. But obviously, none were made and he quit the show. The thing that I find kind of ironic is that there was a big deal about the new Transformers movies being racist. I wonder what people would think if they saw this nowadays. Number 3. The Rugrats Movie. This movie scene starts off with Tommy, Chucky, Phil, and Lil walking into an area where they keep babies just after they're born. Chucky steps on a light switch by accident on the ground, and then all the babies break into song like it's some type of toddler high school musical, where all the babies are singing about differences about the world and how new it is for them. As if any of them could speak anyways. A couple of the babies say some questionable things for a kids movie. One references circumcision, and one gives compliments to the chef of the breast milk. And after they're all done being a bunch of damn crybabies, all of them piss into the sky to make a piss rainbow. How wonderful. Number 2. Operation Archive. This entire episode from Kids Next Door is pretty damn complex, and I can't explain all of it, but for the most part it tells a story where there was only children and adults were created to serve kidkind's race, where they would serve their needs, most of them being playing horsey and making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Later the adults get exiled, then the kids are lured to where they were exiled by the desire of toys. It's sounding a little crazy, I know, but follow me here. Then after that, they run away to the moon, after failing to bomb the coffee shops in the adults' headquarters, called Cleveland, because apparently every adult's energy source is coffee, which, honestly, after a while, I guess, could be debatable. The part that's so messed up, but funny also, is how the show portrays kids' lives in schools, saying they are imprisoned, and oh god, all the horrible homework. And the buzzing of fluorescent lights? What the hell? Anyways, the narrator pretty much goes crazy after that, and clips of Jello getting blended up and brains getting microwaved plays while he's saying things to incite a revolution. Sort of. Then, what a twist. It turns out that was his report on the Declaration of Independence. That had absolutely nothing to do with it. Also, it got graded a double F-. Number 1. Ren and Stimpy. I know this show already goes a little overboard, and I could sit here and talk about this show and how crazy it is for, let's just say, quite a while. But this one right here, it definitely takes the cake. The episode starts with Stimpy crying about something Ren did and Ren deciding to seek help. Throughout this episode, there is some really messed up stuff that happens. Ren first goes to seek help and meets with a supposed therapist named Dr. Horse. When Ren talks to Dr. Horse and starts to talk about his childhood, aka birth, yeah, I'm just gonna show these pictures. I'm sure they're descriptive enough for you. Okay, moving on. The second of the worst scenes is where an infant Ren is pulling legs off a caterpillar one by one, all while it's screaming in agony. Also, he tortures a couple other animals, but the worst of Ren's animal torture spree is when he finds a frog, shoves firecrackers up its behind, rides a tricycle into it, and then electrocutes it with jumper cables and burns it. Those aren't early signs of psychopathy. I mean, I don't know what is. Ren goes on for a little bit longer about his past and then proceeds to tell Dr. Horse what he did, which, in the episode, you can't even hear what they're saying. It's just whispering. After hearing what Ren did, Dr. Horse loses it and starts to call Ren crazy. Dr. Horse then starts to beat Ren up. But the tables get turned and Ren beats him to death with the revolver that Dr. Horse brought out earlier. Animal control shows up to stop everything, and then Ren bites off one of their hands and swallows it. Then they catch him and leave. Seconds later, the frog from earlier shows up and tries to blow his brains out with the revolver. But obviously, it turns out it's just a prank gun. How sadistic.